electric company. 1, 2, 3, 4. I play it on YouTube, who we love, but then we'll probably get a copyright strike, so we don't want to do that. All right, everybody, welcome to the pre-market. Let's take a look and see what is going on. All right, so let's look at the futures. So futures has a possible cup and handle. You guys will see it's kind of pulling back, so this could be a cup and handle. It could be a flag. Got to watch and see if it'll hold the 9 EMA, and then go and get above that 29.39-ish level right here. So you want to see it go and break out. So this could be one of those fun days today of watching and waiting and all that good stuff. So we shall see. All right, so a couple things. Get started. Just kind of show you guys again each day. Actually, come over here. You do this. Draw your attention over here to our website like we do every morning. We post the day trade watch list every night here, as well as trade ideas, gappers in the morning. For those that like low floaters, come over here. For those that like medium to higher floaters, come right over here. If you guys will hear or notice by now, I am a medium to higher float guy. That's my style. That's why I love our watch list. And our watch list fire off like crazy. If you like low floaters, come over here. We post trade ideas, gappers. We do the screen share every day. Come right over here and you'll see the gappers posted here every morning. So just to show you guys, I hope, and like I posted this on social media last night, I hope you guys are paying attention to our watch list. If you guys are really, really paying attention and you listen and you watch our daily watch list, here's what happened. Many a times we put stuff on our watch list, like here's the ones for today. The alert might not fire off today. It might take a day or two, and then it'll launch. If you guys look at our trade alerts results every week, our alerts fire off at an unbelievable rate, 90 probably +%. Now, we're updating our alerts once a week. If we did it once a month, I'd bet the ratio would be even higher and much higher gains. Because, again, we're giving you the best setups on daily charts for breakouts. But remember, going into a Friday or so, the market's a little bit slower. So our results, we're actually hurting our results on trade alerts results by doing the updates every week. If we just moved it to every 2 weeks, again, you'd probably see even a lot higher. But typically, if you watch and look at our results, Monday through Wednesday, our alerts are higher. So what happens is many of these stocks, just like Overstock.com, perfect example. We put Overstock.com on the list right over here the other day because I saw its possible reversal. Moving average lines were pinching, hitting off the 50 SMA. I was watching to see if it can get above the 50 SMA. But what happened was the alert took 2 days. So you can say, oh, the alert didn't fire off. Well, what did it do? It pulled back 2 days. So if a stock doesn't break its highs, chances are it's going to either dump or pull back. What did it do? What's up, Creed? It pulled back 2 days right here. And what do you notice? A cup and handle or a bull flag right off the moving average lines. Then it launched off 1152. And if you guys just pay attention and really just pay attention to what I'm showing you guys here, if you just took our watch, if you did nothing other than take our watch list that we post every day, throw it up over here on charts like this, right? Let it just sit there with a 5-minute setup and look for just 5-minute bull flags. That's it. If you don't find a 5-minute bull flag, don't trade it, right? Unless you know other patterns and you're super comfortable. I'm talking if you're new. Bull flags are like your safest trade to take. And if you look over here, you'll see right on Overstock.com, look what happened. Daily breakout. And what do you have here? Here was a cup and handle right to the moving average lines. That's one bull flag. Got a little bit wonkier. 2 here. Kind of 3 within here. After, again, third on moving forward, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But you still had to play within here. And then even maybe 1 right in here. You had 3 really good plays. Almost 4 to 5. And you could have, if you got an entry here or down in here, You could have just rode the 9, or if you had a 13, just rode this thing. Look at, just rode it. And it went from, even on the breakout of this cup and handle breakout, 1143, went up to 1388. That's a $2.40 move. If you got shook out in this candle here, $13. If you got in at 12 bucks, if you just bought 1,000 shares, you could have just like rode this frickin' play for about 1,000 bucks. Let me see what EMW. When buying a bull flag on a medium float, do you feel comfortable setting a limit at 9 or buying? I typically go and me personally, I go on the break of the hammer or the doji, so I'll go on the momentum up. Some people like to buy right now down here. Again, I like to let the candle form, and then as it goes and breaks above the hammer, get it as it's going up and breaking using a candle close, let's say below here as my stop. So I like to take it off the momentum on the way up. And then this is where you say, where do you decide to take your profits? Well, that's kind of up to you. Do you want to take them when it's out here? Do you want to wait till you get a close below the 9? Again, if you wait till a close below the 9, many times you'll give back profits. So we don't know this is going to do this for an hour or so. Many times you just get the one close and then it kind of dumps down. So, but here's an exact, I'm telling you guys, here was, 3 to 5 plays. Typically from the watch list, you'll definitely get at least one a day on a good solid bull flag to the 9, or sometimes many times 2. I'm telling you, if you just watch our stuff every day, you're going to have one probably at some point in the morning. It might take an hour. So that's why when you hear me streaming and talking to you guys, yesterday, look at how long it took. It took about an hour, And then nice patience, and I forgot which one took off yesterday. I don't know if it was, I forgot which one it was. There actually was a couple of them, and then that one made a liar out of me. Was it ESV? I was looking for a potential short. If you guys watched that stream where you were watching yesterday, that thing bull flagged diagonally for like an hour and a half. So that potential short we were looking at, you saw there was that quick fake out, popped up, and it continued up, and the thing just ran. You could have just rolled the 9 on that one as well. So if you guys are paying attention, if you like, it's kind of like this. If you like low floaters, take what I'm showing you here on a 5-minute and just do it on a 1-minute. If you notice when I teach you guys, the 5-minute chart setups completely suck on low floaters. It's very rare you get good 5-minute chart bull flag setups on a 5-minute. You'll see this stuff on a 1-minute. But, I mean, this stock's got to run for a 1-minute to look like this on a low floater. You typically get 1, maybe 2 moves, and then it just, like, goes crazy. But if you take our watch list, just kind of have them here. Just take them each day. I have a week-ending one and a daily one. And then I kind of go through and see the ones that didn't trigger, look like an overstock.com, and then, boom, this thing takes off. And you could just literally 5-minute setup. Trade bull flags. Bull flags. If you don't see a bull flag, don't trade it. So that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you guys. I'm trying to teach you the safest ways to trade. So Tony says, what looks good today from the watch list? Very good question. So I'm looking at a few different ones right now. I'm looking at ENDP potentially. You can see right here, close right below the 9 EMA, kind of a morning star, and it's creeping. Just a little bit of creeping, not much volume, but I'm looking right here. I have on watch to see if this thing can break $4. If it can break $4, it's a lower price stock that has some room potentially up to that 20 EMA. So that's kind of one you can see on the hourly. This has room up to that, maybe that 200. This has room to move potentially 40 cents on a $4 stock. Does it mean it's going to? No. We got to see if there's volume. See if it has a good setup. It can close above $4, and then you could also look at 420 area here. So 420, if it can get above $4, look at 420, 440 resistance. So if you like kind of that smaller cap price range, this is a super high float. This is going to move like a snail. It's not going to pump, and it's probably not going to dump very much. So this will move slowly. So I'm watching that one. I'm also looking at BNED. That's kind of another lower priced one. This one had a kind of a double bottom breakout, and then it's smacking off that 50 SMA right here at 370s. Well, look right here, creeping in the pre-market or aftermarket yesterday. Just that creeping, no volume here. So again, you want to see volume I want to see a few 100,000 volume come in at the open. But you can see these two right here that I just showed you, nobody's looking at them from trade ideas. They're all looking at trade ideas right now. And we love, again, trade ideas. They're the ones that are showing the huge low floaters that are moving on the day. Nobody's really watching these. That's why I keep these up on a chart and just see which one. I'm telling you, one of them will do something today. And this one may, if it continues above 374, look for $4 resistance. There's potential of 26-cent move on a medium float stock. If you scalp 10 or 15 cents, not bad. This could also pull back a day or two, give back half this candle, and then form a potential flag in a couple days, and then launch. So that's where I'm, again, right now, I'm looking for a break of 374. It may fall back down to this 350-ish area before it takes off. So those are some of the lower priced ones. ESV, when we're starting to move up, kind of a little bit of a higher price one. You can see another one where it's kind of a inverse head and shoulders-ish or cup and handle-ish. And you can see it kind of broke out, and now it's kind of pulling back. And look, there's that falling wedge. Now I want to see, will the moving average line separate? If they separate and get above 870, this one might be one that continues, and now you might have an inverse head and shoulders potential breakout, and then this thing has some room to run. So here's one that's an $8 stock, super high float, forming a pattern. Oh, this is the one I was showing you guys yesterday, right here. I was showing you guys looking for that possible short down in here, back to just the moving average lines. Look what it did. Look at it. If you guys weren't going back, it took to freaking 1250 yesterday before you had to close. So if you got in on this flag right here at 805, you could have, if you just rode the 9, got out at 862. What is that? That's almost a 60-cent move. Just trading the 9. Now show me, for anybody, again, that likes low floaters, or if you're new, show me where you're going to get this on a low float stock. Once a month, maybe twice if you're lucky on a 1-minute chart. You're not getting this on a 5-minute chart on a low floater. Extremely rare. Pattern setups, guys, right? Goes up, breaks out. Here's your bull flag. Entry off the bull flag, and then you decide. Do you want to take profits out here, or wait till you get a close below the 9 EMA and take your profit? That simple. Right? So that's why I give you guys a combination. Some of you guys like the penny stocks. That's why I put them on here. You know, these lower ones right here. I personally am not a fan of those. I like these ones, like this. Overstock.com. Love that. So this one I'm looking right now with ESV to see if it can continue above that 872 level. What else am I looking at? Then I have right over here. So also pay attention to our swing trade watch list, because now we're actually trying to get you guys some Dova. Let me see. Let me give you Dova real quick. Look at X and FCX, guys. Let me show you Dova real quick, and then I'll go to that. Yeah, I mean, it's up to 1488. This is what you're looking at, right? This is where you start to look at this stuff on a 5-minute. So pretend the market was open. This is where I start to look at it really closely. Now, it's up to 15 bucks. It's really up there pre-market. Yeah, it's possible. I want to see what happens at market open. But 15 bucks is your area. It needs to get above that whole dollar amount, and then look for the pattern. If it breaks above 15, watch for a pullback. If you get something like this off the 9 EMA, risk off a small candle, not out here. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Don't be a new person and trade out here and buy at resistance and then cry down the way to support. That sucks. Look, all right, X and FCX. I want to show you these two before the bell. Right here. I'd like to see it a little bit down closer to the moving average lines, but you can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders, kind of bouncing off that 50. If this thing can move up, I'd like to see it clear that 1562 area. You can see possible inverse head and shoulders. It's still a little bit messy, but if it can clear that 1570s range or right up in this area, that thing has some potential to move up, right? I like FCX a little bit better. It's a little bit cleaner of a cup and handle-ish, bouncing again right off here. This 1150, if it can get above 1150s, you can see it's shaky right now, pre-market. That's fine. Let's see if there's volume that comes in. you can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders. If this thing can break that 1150-ish area, that might have some room to that 200 SMA. So you have a potential 40 to 50 cent move on a super high float stock, very liquid, 11 bucks. You know, if there's the potential to make 40 or 50 cents on a high floater and it gets a pattern or a bull flag, you can ride it up. Take your profits before the 200 SMA or just play the patterns. So those are the ones I'm kind of looking at right now. And just watching. All I'm going to do, I'll get a high scanner that hits when the market opens. It takes a few minutes for Thinkorswim. I have our weekly watch list down over in here. I have ones that I'm watching right over, kind of right here, and I have another screen set up as well. So I'm just looking. All I'm doing to show you guys, me personally, I'm just looking for 5-minute bull flags. Off of these 6 charts, at some point today, I'm guessing we'll get at least 1, maybe 2. I'm not looking for 6 5-minute bull flags. That's probably not realistic. You know, that would be an awesome day. I'm looking for 1, definitely, possibly 2. And I'm not going to rush. If I miss a setup, I miss a flat up. So right now I can see, okay, this may be a flagpole. We'll see. If that forms a flagpole, I'll watch for a pullback, watch for a potential flag, and decide if I'm going to trade it. If not, I'm not going to trade it. But again, if you guys are new and you're like, hey, that's too slow for me, I don't want to wait for 5 minutes, I want to be quick and yada yada and all that good stuff, then all you have to do, trade these charts, take these charts and put them to 1 minute and look for the same exact thing. Just look for bull flags. All right, guys, I'm just kind of looking just to see. So this is where you also want to be careful, right? There's a lot of new traders that will come in and they try to trade the open real quick. So you can see, look at on a stock like X. It breaks above that level really quick, but you're only a minute into the market. So there's a lot of new traders that would come in because it's just breaking this candle and it didn't form and it didn't hold. That's why patterns are important. So when it breaks resistance, I personally like to watch, let it break resistance, come back and retest, see if it forms a flag. If it holds, then take my entry. If you want to be riskier, then a lot of people will take it before it breaks. You know, so that's kind of up to you. Do you want to get in before it breaks, get a potentially better entry, or do you want to wait for watch for the retest? All right, I'm going to come back. So I'm going to move this over. I like to see my Thinkorswim chart a little bit better. So now I start to zoom in here, and now I'm starting to see as these candles form, what's getting volume. So BNED, not good volume. You know, I want to see, okay, DPW. Let's take a look at some of these from the watch list. So BNED, so it's still below that area. Need some volume. INO. So INO is creeping right here. INO, you want to see if it can get above that 307 and then that 317 area, right? So you can see moving average lines crossing, but this could be a star reversal. That's, you got to be careful with that one. Now I'm looking down here. These are ones for the week, seeing if anything's getting some volume. Some of them very red. Let me go to a morning scan setup. Also remember, guys, too, remember, stocks run with the market. So let me show you guys. Let's take a look at futures. Again, right near support level, kind of this yo-yo. This is indecision. Is this going to be tweezer bottom reversals and continue up, or is it going to fail, right? Got to let the patterns play out. But this is what I want to teach you guys, right? If you're a new trader, this forces you to slow down, right? Have these up. Look at these patterns. You can see it's 4 minutes into the market. What's going on right now? Not much. This one maybe BNED, maybe getting bullish. We don't know yet. Let's see if moving average lines will cross, get some volume and move up. But these patterns are right here. FCX and X, crazy looking high wave, nasty looking candles. Let the pattern form. There may be a trade an hour and a half, 2 hours, 5 hours from now, or maybe it's tomorrow or Friday. If I don't find something on here, I'll go over and I'll look at the scanners and see if there's any bull flags moving or running, and then I'll look at some of the other ones I have as well. So another setup I have is right here. So here's another one we might look at. Here's another chart setup I have. Here's what I'm starting to look at. ASRT. This is where I would zoom in, right? So here's a clear-cut flagpole. Let's see if it holds the 9. So now what I would do is I would go over to my Thinkorswim, see what kind of volume's on this one. And it's very low on volume. So at this point, I want to see some volume come in. So I'd like to see a hold for a possible flag. Again, that 5-minute candle hasn't formed yet. That just could dump and fall down. But if it holds, it's a smaller one. It's rejecting right below, or it's right below 350. If this thing forms a flag and a potential breakout of 350, this might have, again, not a huge move, maybe potential of 20 cents or so. We'll see. If it doesn't get volume, that's going to make it more difficult. So there we go, just kind of watching that one. Still not getting volume. So now at this point, you can see these candles are a little bit messy. Now at this point, you'd want to see 350 hold and get volume. Still not getting the volume. ENDP might be creeping up. Let me show a long guys. See now, let's see where we're coming here. Still not getting the volume. So you guys see that? ASRT is moving up, but the volume still is not kicking in. You want to see volume. Cron, Lone was saying, bull flag on a 1 minute. Maybe. It's kind of doing a symmetrical triangle-ish. Oops. There we go. See if it's going to break that 1610-ish area. Kind of like that. Possible ascending triangle. On a 5 minute, you can see big flagpole up. It's either going to go and break, or it's going to... This is where, again, to show you guys, people are all staring at Cron. This is where a lot of the herd is. I bet you it has a lot of volume. Let's take a look. Not too much. 200,000. Higher float stock. You can see these candles get a little bit crazier, right? It's building kind of an ascending triangle. So look over here in a 5 minute, you have possible tweezer tops and a high wave candle. So at this point, and remember, you want a bit closer to support, sell near resistance. This is a possible ascending triangle, or it's a possible double top failure. Is OSTK moving again? Let's go take a look. This is one that was on our watch list. Let's see if it's... Yeah, it's creeping up. Good call, Creed. Telling you guys, I hope you're watching our watch list. Again, I still want to see a 5-minute form, right? I want to see a 5-minute bull flag. You can see it maybe right here, just kind of draw. Hitting some possible resistance. Again, no coincidence, $13, whole dollar amount. So I'd like to see a 5-minute pattern form. All right, ENDP, this is creeping up. So this is where I'm looking at it more. So now volume is starting to slowly creep up. It's getting near that whole dollar amount. You can see these bigger flagpoles coming in, right? So now at this point, if you're a 1-minute trader, obviously you want to, I don't like the 1 minute setup here now. I'd like to see a smaller candle back down near moving average lines, but if you wait, you might not get it. You want to see it get above $4. Me personally, what I do with a stock like this right now, let it have its flagpole up, and then I want to watch and wait for a 5-minute pullback. You can see it's kind of far away from this 9 EMA. I might not get it. If I wait for it, it might take off and I might not get it. But I'll be patient. I'll let it go and just say that's fine. If I don't get a 5-minute pullback, I won't trade it. It could very well pull back, you know, anywhere even down to this area, 393, whatever. But $4, very important level. There it goes a little bit. See if it's going to hold that 401. I'd like to see a little bit more volume, so let's see if it starts to kick in. So if you want to know what I'd be looking for, ENDP, I like seeing the volume gaining. I like seeing a breakout. Me personally, I'm looking for a 5-minute pullback down to that $4 range. I want to see this 9 EMA catch up. Then I'd be interested in it more. Let it break out on a 5-minute. Let it pull back. I want to see a flag. So right now, you can see flagpole up. I want to see flags back. I don't want to buy on top of flagpoles. I want to buy off of flags near support. Again, that's just my trading style. Some people love, you know, they'll just buy the break of a 5-minute candle and ride it up. You know, that you could have just looked down here above 393 if you wanted to take it, and then use a close below it as your stop if you wanted to, right as it breaks first high of day one. You know, that's again another style. Let's look at ASRT. I look at this, maybe see if it steps back down and forms a flag. Right now it's possible tweezer topping. Maybe a possible reversal here on INO. Again, guys, patience, right? So I have a 6-chart setup. Like I told you from the beginning, what am I looking for? 5-minute bull flags. Do you guys see a 5-minute bull flag on OSTK? I don't. Do you see a 5-minute bull flag on INO? I don't. Can you still make money on these reversals? Absolutely. Again, I like bull flags. Some people like cup and handles and ascending triangles, right? Good for them. Find your trading strategy. Do you see a bull flag on ASRT? Not yet, but possible. Flag pulls up. I want to see it step down a little bit, pull back, then maybe I'd risk. So maybe I'll keep ASRT on watch. We'll see what happens with that one. Come back over to my other charts over here. Where do you see a potential bull flag here? Really, maybe with the NDP. Moving up, let's see if this one pulls back. So I'll probably put ASRT over here now. So these are ones, as of right now, I'm looking for 5-minute pullbacks. Let this 9 EMA catch up and see if it'll give me a bull flag. So let's check at the volume on ASRT and ENDP. All right, ASRT, I'd like to see more volume. ENDP's creeping up a little bit more. I'd like to see it get about around 300,000 or more to be a little bit better. And look, ASRT, see, this is why I'm watching pullbacks, right? 1 minute is a double top. So here's where a lot of traders got faked out, right here. So when you trade that 1 minute, you can see, oh, that's a hammer, let me get in. Faked you out right here. It's not nearer to support. You have to be very quick, and you had, there it goes, and reverses right down, right? That's why I like, this is what I'm looking in on, is this. The 9 EMA is creeping up. Is it going to give me a doji or a smaller candle to risk off of? Because I want the better setup.
Peeps, give it a minute here. Sorry, my music's going. It looks like Lucian lost video and audio, so he should
Creed,
be back here in a minute. I'm currently watching Baba Microsoft, watching the NQ and ES to see which direction we'll get. Have not taken a trade just yet. Just kind of waiting for things to feather out. So,
Angel, if you're listening, we're probably gonna get
yeah, he's probably still talking. He'll realize it here in a minute or so. But yeah, gotta love internet connections out there. So let's see. Currently, we got the SPY. There we go. We got the SPY coming right to this 50% level. So watch to see if you get above. If you do not, then I'll watch for a reversal down. I see that he's back. So give me a second here.
Well, number one, thank you for Creed. So thank you, Creed, for letting me know my audio didn't work. But we'll give you also a little hand slap, because we'll probably get a copyright violation for Creed's music later. So, love you, Creed. All right, so as of right now, guys, look. Not digging ASRT at the moment. ENDP still in play. This is the one I'm looking at. The 1 minute, I'm a little leery of, but still potentially in play right here on a 5 minute. Potentially, let's say. We always like to use the word potentially. All right, so what I'm going to do is, yeah, I did keep talking. Yes, I did. An ENDP, right, showing some weakness. So right now, I'm not seeing any bull flags I like. So at this point, I have my chart set up on my other screen. And what I'm going to do is start doing a little bit of a scan. Let me do this, move that over. ASRT. So right here on ENDP, don't like it now. I want to see kind of a smaller candle, see if it gives you one or, you know, kind of a flag. Let this 9 EMA catch up. ASRT, I'm going to look at it a little bit, slowly gaining some volume. This is where I'm noticing it maybe a bounce off the 9 EMA. So see if it catches up. I'd like to see a clearer flag, not like that. So now let's do a quick scan of, let's do some of a watch list, and then we'll go to let's take a look at Cron. I see you guys talking about that one. Yeah, so if you look at, so here's a perfect example, guys. Well, let me show you guys this. If you were me looking for a 5 minute setup, probably wouldn't like this. It's not doing what I want it to do. For you guys that like the 1 minute chart, you know, right down in here. There you go. That was your play right off this small little hammer right here. So this is what I'm showing you guys. This is what I'd be looking for on a 5-minute. I like to see I personally like flags better. But look, this is a tiny little candle right here. That's a 1-cent candle, hammer off the 9 EMA on a 1 minute. This is better risk. This is terrible risk out here. So now you could be in this and decide to take profits anywhere along the way. This flag, I like to see that, but I like it closer to the 9 EMA. On a 5-minute, I don't have a setup, right? All right, let's look here. Just letting these candles play out. And there you go. So on a 5-minute, I still don't have my setup. Yeah, I noticed with FCX, I see what you're talking about. I'm going to pull that one up in a second. For you 1-minute traders, this is kind of like a head and shoulders. It did bounce off the 9 EMA. You know, as you can see, it's a little bit overextended. Be aware, ENDP, when these things break out, remember, when it's a very high float stock, when it breaks out, it's less of a pump, less of a dump, right? That's why we try to put these medium and higher float ones, because you'll see patterns in these. You're going to not see as many of them with the low floaters. Yeah, FCX is creeping now. Let's go to that one. Again, I personally like bull flags, but some people might say, okay, this might be doing a cup pattern, right? They might start looking at this, and there's a lot of people that like cup patterns. I'm not a huge fan of them. My brain doesn't see them as well. I personally like flags. You can see, okay, this one may be creeping. X looks like it might be doing the same thing. So if you guys look, for those that like kind of cup patterns, look at what X and FCX are doing, something very similar. Falling down, kind of creeping up and around. Right? So you guys can see, for those that are good with cup and handles, which I am not, it's kind of doing a cup pattern here. FCX, kind of doing a cup pattern, moving up. So we'll watch those two. And if you look at ENDP, this is doing one of the kind of diagonal-ish kind of patterns. So you can see it's kind of doing a diagonal flag, possible wedge. Kind of up here a little bit. So we're going to watch this one. It's near resistance. I want to see, personally, when I like flags, I like them pulling back. All right, let's go back through here and see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move for myself, now that we're talking about cron. This may be setting for a possible daily breakout. Kind of an inverse head and shoulders. I believe it's a pot. Yeah, oh, cannabis stock. So me personally, I'm going to put this on now, and I'm going to just put this on my watch and look for a 5-minute pullback. So I'm going to move that one over here. So just showing you guys what I'm doing, right? I just kind of go over here, being patient. I'm scanning. I'm saying, remember, my strategy that I like, 5-minute bull flags. I'm just trying to be patient, right? So you got to remember something. The majority of people that are traders, that are not full-time traders, that want to make money in the stock market, what does their life look like? Are they sitting home all day with huge brokerage accounts? Probably not, right? If you have huge brokerage accounts sitting home all day, you're probably not listening to us stream unless you want to help out and you like, you know, talking to people in our community, right? Most people that are watching us or anybody stream, they're trying to learn trading, and typically they probably have a job, right? And when you're at a job, extremely difficult to trade a low float stock at a job, if your boss comes up to your cubicle, you're hiding your screen, you're on your iPhone, all that kind of stuff, right? It's super difficult to trade a low floater at work when you have to get in out of your trade in seconds, right? So with that, if you just take 5-minute setups and only trade a good 5-minute setup, you can have a screen kind of hidden or kind of like check this, you know, every few minutes. These are 5-minute candles, right? Here's 20, 25 minutes. If I'm looking for a bull flag on ENDP, I might have to wait because, right, this is 20 minutes up. I might have to wait 50 or 20 minutes down, or I might not get it, right? With FCX and X, here's cup patterns. I might be waiting for it to break out, then coming back and retesting and getting my flag. I have time. Cron moving up, right? I want to see it stair step back down. I can leave these charts up all day. I'm telling you, at some point, they'll probably call me crazy. At some point today, if it's not this morning, some point between 2:30 and 4 this afternoon, at least one of the ones we're talking about will give me at least one bull flag, right? So you can see this is going up with ENDP. I want it to come back down. Give me a flag. Cron is going up. I want to see it come back down. So why do I show you this and teaching you this if you're new? It completely slows down your trading. It allows you to day trade. It allows you to also potentially do shorter term swing trades. We're showing you the medium to higher float stocks because they typically move a little bit more like a stock, so less pumping and dumping gives you time to trade. So we're showing you a strategy of where you could day trade, having a job, slow it down, not have to chase the herd, and be in a panic, worrying, looking over your shoulder if your boss is going to come over and see you scalping 10 cents in 5 seconds and seeing you want to vomit and looking up and standing over your cubicle. Hey, is a coworker coming? Are they looking? Are they going to see me trading? Am I going to get fired? What a nightmare. That's a super pain in the you-know-what. But you have the ability to day trade doing this type of strategy. So right here, not seeing anything. For right now, I'm going to let, right here, I'm going to let ENDP and Cron see if they form. I'm going to look at my other ones, and I'm seeing not much. I'm going to come back over here to our watch list, scan really quick. And then I'm going to go to a high day scanner. All I'm doing, guys, when I click on these symbols, I'm looking at this chart. Where's my 5-minute bull flag? Not there. Not there. Not there. No. I see you guys talking. Silent World says CETX. Yeah, good call. So let's take a look at CETX. All right. I don't have trade ideas up right now. I'm not looking at trade ideas. And I would bet money that this is a low float stock. Let's see if I'm wrong. Let's go over here to CETX. Huh. Man, I must be really smart. How the hell did I know? Or heck, sorry, HR, if you're listening. How did I know CETX is a low float stock? This thing just launched. Look at how big these candles are. Huge. Huge. This is a great stock to trade. You can make a ton of money on it, for sure. But if you're working a job right now and you want to day trade CETX and you're panicking about your boss coming over and catching you trading, how do you trade this without losing your mind? You'd come in, there's no 5-minute setup, completely terrible risk management. But if you're on a 1 minute and you know what you're doing, here's what you got. You zoom in and you can say, okay, you have a couple options here. You can get in at the off of the 9 EMA for the potential break of high a day, right? So this is your best kind of entry, right? Smallest candle. And then look at what happened. There's your flag. This is what I like right here on a 5-minute. This is exactly what I want, but I want it over here. For those of you that are quick traders and you want to scalp and get in, get out, if you didn't get in on this candle, now you're waiting for the retest, right? When a stock breaks out, you like to see it retest and form a flag. Your shot to do that came right over here. 946, right in here. If you didn't get in on this candle, then you're seeing here it gets a little bit crazier. Here's your entry after it breaks out. Now, all the volume comes in. It's a low float stock. It's got 6 million volume. Guess what's happening? Everybody on the planet that's a day trader, they're all staring at this. The gurus are scalping, telling you when you get in. The new traders are chasing them in, getting trapped. So a guru gets in, then it's like people are chasing. They don't know what they're doing. Now look, everything that's going on, everything is far away from these moving average lines. Everything now becomes riskier because you didn't buy. By the way, I'm rambling. I want to make sure I'm not missing a setup. Every time I talk to you guys, I seem to miss something good. Right here. If you didn't risk here, if you didn't get in here, your best shot was right in here. After that, look at everything's away from the moving average lines. A lot riskier. Double top pattern. This is probably going to fail. So when you're trading this at work, tell me what you're doing, right? See, a lot of new traders are not being told this, and this is why we try to teach people and help them this, is that they get in, they want to learn day trading, they have small accounts. The average, remember, if a guru is making 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 in a day, you can do the same thing, but maybe not make the same money. What they're doing is they're buying, you know, if somebody makes $1,000, right? The guru might have a $100,000 brokerage account, and they buy 10,000 shares. They scalp 10 cents and made 10,000. If you had a $5,000 brokerage account and you bought 1,000 shares and bought 10 cents, you made $100. You still made the same trade as the guru. They just made more money because their brokerage account's huge. So if we were doing low floaters right now, it would be super simple. I can call it an entry to you guys. I know if a bunch of people come in behind me and buy the stock, it's going to jack it up 15, 20 cents, maybe depending on how many people are buying it. And then I sell at a top. You know, I basically selling the shares to probably you guys, and I pump up my brokerage accounts with you guys. We just don't do that. But that's the low float strategy right here. I highly doubt you might, if you're lucky, you might get a 5-minute play on this. But it's probably going to be a crazy looking candle like this. It's probably not going to be a smaller looking 5-minute candle. That's low floaters. Again, no hate. There's a lot of money to be made with them. It's a great style. If you don't get in down here, you got in here. If you didn't get in here, now, okay, here's where you just start to look right here. You might decide to risk in here. You see, look, see it's creeping above that red hammer? A little creep coming right back down. Now you could use a close if you want to trade these low floaters on a 1 minute. Right here. I'll guarantee you some people are risking off that small little hammer right there. Now you could use a candle close below here as your stop, and then you want to see it break above that 457. But remember, look over here. These are a double top pattern and tweezer tops over here. So right here, you want to, let's just watch this play out. Right here. Smaller candle, so you have a 426 down. What is that? That's another thing right there. Look at that small little hammer. 425 down to 4. That's still a 12-cent candle. You know, I don't like it. It's just me personally. Some people love this strategy. Good for them. Here you go. Here's your trend line. Right here, kind of draw it up like this. This might be your shot. It might go. Just be aware. If you're looking at this and trading candles, you want to see this thing break out here. So now you went in on this candle, 426. You're up to 440.57. You either wait and take your profits. Here you go. There's your takeoff. Watch the candle, see if it's going to reverse. But at this point, you want to see it hold at 458. Creed, I love your memes, buddy. Right? So it's popping up, rejecting, right back down. Now what's it going to do? Is it going to fail, or is it going to go up? So right there you go. So just showing you guys, even though I personally don't like this, you can say, why the heck don't you like that? You could have just made, I mean, could have launched. Well, it could have. It's just not my, it's just, I don't like getting in and out very quickly. But there you go. This, what I'm showing you here, I personally would have liked to have seen a green hammer. So probably this one right here. What was that, 432 down to 422. I like that green one a little bit better right here. So if you risked off one of those two, now at this point, if you didn't get in, right here, so let me clear the drawings. If you didn't get in above that one, at this point, if you missed that 1 minute candle, right, yeah, you can see what I'm saying, this green candle here. Forget about it. Wait for it to pull back. But you can see, one pullback, two pullback, anything after the second pullback, it gets a lot more riskier, a lot more volume, bigger candlesticks. So this is basically what I'm looking for, my style. I'm looking for this over here. But I'm typically not going to find it on a low float stock. Now, actually, let's take a look maybe at ENDP. We might be starting to have a discussion on that one. So hopefully this helped you guys. You guys seeing this? Is this making sense? EMW. See? EMW, what's your name? Is this what's your name, buddy? He gets it. Roger or Rudiger? Rudiger? Eric. Wait, is it Eric? Yeah, cool. Eric. Eric gets it. So why did Eric just say ENDP? Well, I'm assuming. So again, keep an eye. Possible flag forming here. Look at this on a 1 minute chart. Remember, this looks like a flag, and it might be, but it's super far away from that 9 EMA. This could flag and take off. Remember, it's just a little bit riskier. I personally, look at how far that is away from the 9 EMA. Why is ENDP, Eric saying that? Because we're going to go over here. ENDP has a 500,000 of volume now. Still probably not on a lot of people's radars. And look, it's possibly, and there you go, it just got a bounce. It didn't form the can. So this is where many times if you wait for the pull back down on a 5 minute, the candle gets a little bit bigger. I'd like to see a smaller one, but if you start to look at, you see it, how it went up, came back down, not quite the flag that I'd like to see, but now I'm kind of reset the drawings and I'd say, okay, kind of zoom out over here and I can kind of draw my trend lines and see. You know, it's kind of got a rising wedge-ish pattern here. Again, me personally, I would have waited. I like to see something smaller down here. But just to show you guys, if you're looking at this one, you know, you have resistance up in this area here. That's where I would have, me personally, I'd like to have seen smaller candles, get a smaller candle around $4, then have a chance for 10 or 15 cents, not a bigger candlestick. I hate how Thinkorswim does that. It takes forever with their scans. Very weird. All right, so let's see what some are running. This right here is a medium and a higher float scan. So as you can see, all these stocks are medium to higher float. Because again, why do I have that? I'm staying away from the low floaters because I like 5 minute setups. If you guys are like, hey, I don't like Lucian's strategy of the higher to lower float, use trade ideas or have a morning scan right over here, and you can see lower float. All right? Low float stocks. So I come over here just to show you CETX. Where's my bull flag on a 5-minute? There isn't one. And there you go. Dump, timber. There you go. Woohoo! Boom, right back down. All right. DMPI, where's my bull flag on a 5-minute? Whoop, nothing, timber. Again, if you guys have the, the time to do it, there's your one play right here. Boom. Right there. You want to know how to trade a low floater? That's your play. You know what this is out here? It's all the new traders in the world losing and blowing up their brokerage accounts. Why? Here's what's happening. The gurus got trade ideas. They call out, hey, I'm in DMPI right here off this candle. And then all the new traders that don't know what the heck they're doing, they're too lazy to study support and resistance. They want a hand out, not a hand up. They buy after the guru. The guru comes in, and you know what the guru does? Right here. They sold right somewhere in the top of this flagpole, and here's where all the new traders just vomit, losing all their money in their brokerage accounts. It's nasty. There's your one play out. Right? All of them, the traders in the world, they, again, not hating on trade ideas. We love trade ideas. We promote it, all of that. Yeah, fantastic scanner. Here it is. Your 1-minute play. You're out. Dumping. Pump. Right back down. Dump. CETX. Same thing. You had 1 down here. 2 right here. And then timber down. ATOS. Pump way up pre-market. Nothing at the open. All garbage. Berg. Here's your nice little FU pattern. If you're wondering what an FU pattern is, take your knuckles, reverse them, flick off your computer, put a middle finger here. That's an FU pattern. Pumped up, right back down. That's a middle finger saying, hey, newbies, right here. Give me your money. Guru pumping it up. Newbies buying it up here, dropping it on the way down. There goes your brokerage account. Again, not hating on low floaters, but if you're new, there's no way you're going to be able to trade this. That's why most new traders fail, because they don't know patterns and they're not looking for the best setups. If you know, oh, this is a cup and a handle right here, breakout, I'll get in and then look at these high wave candles and decide whether I'm going to take profit. Cool. Right? But a new trader is not. They're going to hear the guru. They're going to say, whoa, the guru just made $5,000. Let me buy it. And then boom, right back down. Shorts, shorting it right back down. Is this making sense to you guys? I'll probably piss some people off and some people will probably cancel because they don't like to hear truth. Whatever. It is what it is. Trying to help you guys. Garbage right here. Right here, garbage. So I'm showing you guys this because now, okay, so now here's where I look. So why am I stopping at this one right now? Because look at this. There's actually a potential of a shot here. Why am I even potentially looking here? Right here, patterns. Why am I possibly seeing a pattern right now? Because, let me show you guys here. A possible flag, kind of a cup, possible handle flag. Why am I even seeing a potential flag here? I mean, look, it's a higher float stock. So now here's a penny, almost basically a penny stock that's higher float. I can see a possible cup and handle flag. I can see high of day right here is $1.08. And now I can say, okay, I might look at this further. Let's delve in. Let's look at the daily chart. What's going on? Well, daily chart's breaking out, but here's the only problem now. It's caught between that 20 EMA and the 50 SMA. So now, like, it looks good, potentially, but now I'm like, all right, potentially some trouble right there at that 50 SMA. I'd like to see it clear that 50 SMA, that $1.10. If it can get above that 50 SMA and the pattern holds right above, right around here, then I might say, okay, if this bull flags up, gets over $1.10, now there's a window. There's a window up to that 200 SMA on the daily, or right here. See it? It's right. It's bouncing off the 200 on the hourly. So if it can get above that 110, this is one I would possibly consider. But at least, do you guys see? I at least have a shot of a discussion at this pattern. It's because it's a higher float stock. And son of a gun, ENDP. Just to show you guys with ENDP. Again, it's not taking off too much, but just to show you guys. This is a little bit bigger of a candle, right? But be aware of some resistance up here. But this is, again, what I'm looking at. Now, at this point, you want to see it hold at 408. So I'll kind of reset the drawing. At this point, you want to see it hold 408. I would have liked to seen a smaller candle. If you risked, again, 408 to 415, big deal. It's 6 cents, right? But, in fairness, you can say big deal, right? Oh, that's only 5 or 6 cents. But, you know, depending on your brokerage account, you know, even if you bought 1,000 shares, that's $50, you know, 40 or $50, depending with commission fees. You could always get in if you wanted to scalp it. Scalp the 5 cents, watch for a pullback, scalp another 5 cents. Ask yourself what you're looking for. If you're a new trader and you're trying to hit home runs, like, it's just not the realistic way to trade. You know, you got to get these scalps here and there. I, again, personally would have liked to seen a smaller flag. All right, Overstock.com might be... I might zoom in on that one a little bit. All right, yep, Overstock and maybe Cron. So I'm going to look at Cron. The reason why I'm looking at that one right here. So I'm looking at Cron because I was just looking right here. It's near the 9 EMA. I want to see a smaller candle potentially hold this. It's not holding now. I'd like to see something give me a potential flag. Overstock.com. Why am I looking at that one? Because look, it's moving up right near, watch out for that 1340s resistance. You can see, kind of if I reset the drawings. Why am I putting resistance here? Well, that's high a day yesterday, right? It's broaching that area and it's clearing. Look at this pre-market. I want to see that area, that 1340s area. So now I can see 1340, 1388. Now I'm looking at some patterns here. This is a potential double bottom. If this can break and hold, that might have some room to go. This could be a possible double bottom. Possible, or kind of cup and handle, so you can see it broke 1304 high a day there. So now what I can do is I could wait to see if it's going to break out and hold, or watch if it pulls back and gives me a flag on the 13. Let this 9 EMA catch up. There might be a possible flag in anticipation of a break of previous close and then yesterday's high. But if you don't want to be patient like me on the 5 minute, you're missing these moves, right? And you could have kind of gotten in right down on these smaller little 1 minute, this 1 minute candlestick here. And then you can see it gets a little bit crazier. Just to go back to ENDP real quick. What I'm looking right here, it's pulling back to the 9 on a 1 minute. If you're a 1 minute trader, maybe you look to see if it holds the 9 for a possible flag, right? You just look right here. What are we looking for, guys? Bull flags. You're a 1 minute trader, you're looking for a bull flag on a 1 minute, right? On a 5 minute, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a bull flag. So it moved up. Now again, it breaks resistance. It wants to come back many times and test for support. If it doesn't dump and it forms a flag, then I might look at it. Again, with ENDP, I'm looking right at that 200 SMA. They're in that 440s level resistance. There we go. So at this point right here, this thing has some room to that 200 SMA right here. If it can hold the line and give me a flag, this is a trade I might really consider taking with a better entry. And Cron, for those that are watching Cron, again, is it going to hold the line here on that 9 EMA, give you a hammer, potentially, something smaller? Going to watch and see if that holds. So if you're listening and you've been listening this whole time and you're paying attention, you can say, well, he hasn't found a real good setup he hasn't liked yet. Well, that's exactly right. I'm trading my strategy. I'm sticking to my plan. If I don't see a setup I like, I won't trade. It's as simple as that. And if you had patience and stuck with a strategy like mine, you might miss a lot of plays, but guess what? On a stock like Overstock, if you were patient for the week, you can see it's actually creeping up here again on the 5-minute. What I tell you guys, now you want to see it hold. Now you have a double bottom. Is it going to break and go red to green? If so, you know, this thing might be taken off. But right here is what I showed you yesterday. You could have not taken a trade the entire week, waited for the perfect setup, and then 1 or 2 entries and made $1,000 to $2,000 off 1,000 shares. You can have 1 trade a week. Bam. Let me take a look at that one. So with Overstock, if you're looking, be aware of that 1388 resistance. And again, I still haven't gotten the pullback I wanted on a 5-minute. If I don't get it, I don't get it. If I do, look, it's going possibly red to green. Remind me to go back to Overstock. Let me take a look at ORCL for you. Some resistance right around that 57.50. Some right in here on that 57.24. So it's nearer to all-time highs. So here you go. Look at that. So that resistance I'm showing you is because of up here. Just be very careful. Again, so what do? It looks like an ascending triangle, but it's also at all-time highs. You know, that's where you got to be very careful. If it can't break these areas, you know, look at how far away it is from that 9 EMA. You know, that's far away. Can it continue up? Absolutely. Could that easily fall and form a, you know, triple top failure? Yes. So this is where you got to be not careful. Don't see something you want to see, because it's very easy, not saying you are, but it's very easy to look at this and be like, oh, that's an ascending triangle, which it very well may be. But just be aware, if it doesn't break this top, you know, this has definitely a lot of room to fall. Overstock. Dang it. For those of you guys looking at Cron, there we go. Dang, I hope you guys are paying attention to what we're teaching, man. Right here. If you were to take this right here, there's a 5-minute pullback that is a 16.26 down to 16.18. So now you have an 8-cent candle. You had a 5-minute pullback. You have a potential inverse head and shoulders on the daily. You have a high of 16.37. Now, if you zoomed in right over here on a 1-minute, so now you got to decide if you took this trade, you could use a candle close below that doji, that long-legged one, as your stop if you'd like, and then you would decide, again, where you would take profits. Do you just look at candlesticks? Are you waiting for a close below the 9? Again, this is not the best bull. It's not really a bull flag, right? It's kind of like a, you can almost call it an inverted cup and handle right here. So you can kind of draw your trend lines right here and go right here. It's kind of got a rising wedge. So you got kind of an inverted cup and handle or a cup and handle on a 1 minute, right? So if you look at these patterns, again, what I like these kind of flags up. If you like cup and handles, just be aware it's in the rising wedge. Probably going to pull back, and it's either going to dump or it's going to hold the on a 1 minute and potentially break out. And overstock is still going red to green. Now, guys, look at X. Hope you guys are paying attention. This is where patience. And look, those that were looking at ENDP right here, it held a 9. Again, I told you guys I'd like to see a smaller candle, so I probably wouldn't have taken it. But if you did, 408, you know, it's still going up. It still has room to go. You could take your 10-cent profit if you wanted to take profits, or you could take a potential reversal, or ride the 9, or just wait for a 5-minute candlestick reversal. It's up to you. You can see it's getting a little bit more wonkier up here. And look at overstock.com, guys. Man, we're good. Right here. 1388. Resistance. Don't be surprised if it pulls back. So this, here's a perfect lesson for you guys to teach you, right? So you could say, Lucian, you're an idiot. Your strategy just give up a crap ton of profits. You know, you wait, you're looking for a 5-minute pullback. Look at all that move. Yeah. So I could beat myself up and said, oh, I should have gotten in on a 1 minute. I could have done it there. Look at all those flags are missing. Again, it's my strategy. I like 5-minute flags and pullbacks, and that's what I like. I don't like rushing into things. But guess what I missed along the way on a 1 minute. So you can see right here, 1388 resistance, some support. Actually, now just might as well just use previous close right here. All right. So you can say, oh, dang, Lucian, you just lost. You could have made a ton more money. You told me to look at overstock. You had it on your watch list. Great play yesterday. Why aren't you paying attention today? Why didn't you trade this? I don't like these. I don't like these high wave candles. I don't like cup and handles. I told you I don't like them. That's not my style, right? It broke out, and I haven't had a pullback since. But Lucian, if you traded the 1 minute, look what you would have just missed right here. Boom. Are you guys paying attention right here? I'm actually kind of kicking myself. I ain't gonna lie. Now I am kind of kicking myself because look at that. Look at that freaking beautiful right here. Cup and handle. Here you go. I am kind of kicking myself now. Right here. Here's kind of a cup and handle. Tiny little candle here. Then it kind of broke out. But see how it gets a little bit riskier? Let's look at that candle. 1328. And it's 12-cent candle. They're starting to move away, right? See how they're just getting a little bit further away. So, you know, again, for those that like 1 minute, boom. Look at that. 12. Here you go, guys. For those of you guys that like to be quick and that were paying attention, hopefully somebody was watching and profited off this that likes 1 minute setups. Right here. $12.96 for the break of $13. Ride the 9. Where's your candle close below the 9? Hasn't happened yet. Right here. $12.97 up to $14. There's your dollar plus move for those that like 1 minute charts. You're welcome. There you go. I don't have the guys, I don't have the ability to, like, here's the thing. For those of you guys that have been around the block, right? I'll let you guys in on a little secret. So, if you've checked out, again, no hate anywhere else. Look at this freaking thing. Unbelievable. Let's just take this one in for a minute. Guys, if you're new, please, listen. Don't buy. Please, just don't buy. If you don't know what the hell they're doing when you're trading, don't buy now because it's so overextended. Just don't buy it unless you know what you're doing. This is where, again, just because I'm showing you, this is the problem, right? People like put me and lump me into a category of a guru because I'm talking about a stock and how great it's doing, and they don't know how to trade, and they're going to go buy the damn thing, right? Don't do that. You got to know patterns. Like I told you, I technically am using my strategy. I wouldn't have traded this. I wouldn't have traded it. It's not my strategy. But I still technically wouldn't have taken a trade here. So here's my point in telling you, if you're like, who just said, Lone Wolf says, but Lucian, look what you missed. And Lucian, are you paying attention? The problem is, guys, I'm trying to teach you guys. When I'm teaching you, I'm trying to show you all this stuff, so I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to show you, like, the problem is, if you've been around the block and you've been to other places and trade rooms, most of them are silent, and then they tell you when they get in a trade, and you buy after them, and you pop up the stocks. That is the secret. That is the whole freaking industry with chat rooms, many of them. And that's what you see is different with our chat room, is we're not pumping stocks to you guys. You know, and also, if I did take a, take a hypothetical for a moment. If I took a trade on Overstock, which I didn't, look at Overstock. It's kind of actually, it's a lower to medium float stock. It has 3.5 million volume. It's a lot harder to pump that stock. So on a $14 lower, you know, kind of a medium floater stock with 3 million volume, it's a lot harder to pump that thing, you know? So I'm sure there are people that are listening to me now that bought Overstock just because I was showing it to you, assuming I'm a guru, that I'm pumping up a stock, you know? The whole point being is, if I was actually, you know, paying more attention, I'd stop trying to teach this stuff, and I would just take the trade and tell you when I got in the trade, and then just like pump it up, and then I'm a brokerage account hero, right? Look at me, look at how big my brokerage account is. Meanwhile, I just kind of, again, not on a stock like this. It's very harder to pump stocks like this. And again, that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to pump stocks to you guys. If we wanted to do that, we'd go to the low floaters and do it that way. Now up here, here's a perfect example, guys. That's kind of a high wave candle. This is where it gets super messy. Don't be surprised for this thing to pull back hard. Yep. Lone, you're funny. Damn though, I ain't gonna lie, guys. See, that's the problem. My brain, it's my brain. My brain, I can only do one thing at once. I am a terrible multitasker. If you want me to trade and teach you at the same time, I can't do it. My brain doesn't do it. If you want me to, it's like if I'm gonna do that, then I'm not gonna teach you. So it's either I'm teaching you guys and not trading, or if I'm trading, then I'm going to have to not really teach you and just tell you when I get a position, when I get in and get out. And then I'm not teaching you as much, and I'm going to teach you more after the fact. So it's kind of like, what the hell do you want? Do you want me to teach you, or how? Like, it's just, so, and what happened? I streamed yesterday, and guys, it's exhausting, I ain't going to lie. When you talk for frickin' 2 hours, again, join a lot of other trading services, they don't talk for 2 hours. They I tell you guys before, I went to one. Oh, I like these people too. Like, I just get, but I just don't want to say too much. But it's what they're on mute. They're literally on mute. Just mute and come in once in a while. This market sucks. All right, I'll be back. All right, I'm going to look at OSTK. Okay. Silence. Half hour later. Yeah, OSTK pulling back. And then like this, right? That awkward silence. Again, no hate. I love it. I just get a kick out of these people, right? But you know how freaking exhausting it is to talk for 2 hours at a time? Like, when I'm done with a stream, man, I'm done. I'm burnt out. You know? Because nonstop talking for 2 hours trying to teach you this stuff. And that's where we hope we're helping you guys. But it's way sexier, right? If I shut my mouth, pump this stock to you, you know what I could do later today? I could literally create a YouTube thumbnail with my mug and my funny looking smile and my silly outfits and say, hey, look at me, I made $5,000. Woohoo, I'm a brokerage account hero, right? And people love that. There's a lot of people that love that stuff. You know, no hate on it. We get a kick out of it. We laugh. When we see those commercials and we see those photos, we just get a kick out of it. It's funny. And you know what? People fall. They love it. Freaking new traders, they love it. They fall for those YouTube videos. Woohoo, look at me. I made $10,000 today. Look at me and my, like, I'm happy. Yaha. Woohoo, look at me. Look at my Range Rover. Look at my private jets and my cash. They fall for it. And then they go and they copy the guru's trade. They completely blow up their brokerage account. And you know what they do? Here's what happens. If you're new, listen to me. You know what they do? They're going to do what you do if you don't listen. They're going to blame the market. They're going to say the market took my money. The market's crazy. I don't know what the market's doing, right? The market just crashed. There's a stock market crash. They're going to turn on CNBC or NBC at the end of the day today and say, oh, the market's down today. Oh my God, look at what XYZ politician did. They're crashing the market. Oh my gosh, what do I do? I should freak out. Let me put all my money in Bitcoin. And you know what they don't do? Here's what they don't do. They don't go and look at a chart, a freaking chart, right? What does a chart tell you? It tells you support and resistance. What is support and resistance? Support is buying low, resistance is selling high. Every time somebody on the planet buys and sells a stock, it leaves this stuff right here. Green and red candles, bullish and bearish candlesticks. What does that mean? It forms patterns. What does patterns do? It teaches you support and resistance. What does that mean exactly? When the market falls and it tanks up here, well, no duh, it couldn't hold a previous high. It's at resistance. Like, these people that have these billions of dollars, they're not stupid. They're not guessing one day, oh, let me just buy something here or there. They know this stuff. They know what's going on. They're leaving you the clues right in front of your face, right here. But what happens is most new traders come in, they're too darn lazy, they don't study, they want some guru to pump a stock to them, they blow up their brokerage account, they leave saying the stock market sucks and it takes their money, and meanwhile, it's just showing you right in front of your face. This is a cup and a handle. Look, or a V bottom, or some flags in here. Oh, this is a previous high. Let me go back over here. Where's the other one? Oh, this is a previous high. Okay, that's resistance. Stock goes and breaks resistance. Up. Couldn't hold. Now it fails support. It fell back down. What did it do? It bounced off moving average lines. That's the 200 simple moving average line. What the heck's that mean? That's a very important support level. If it doesn't hold, that's a bad sign. Oh, buyers came back in, pushed it back up. What does it do? Oh, it forms kind of a V bottom, cup and handles, and I zoom in and I can see flags. And meanwhile, people turn on the news every day. Oh my gosh, the world is falling. This is what's happened, XYZ. And it tells you right in front of your face. That's my rant. It's all in front of you guys. Now, speaking of which, I just... because I rant, I don't shut up. I'm missing stuff. Of course. So actually, before we go, this is what I'm now I'm going to like try to be serious for a moment. Actually, I was being serious, but made me talk a little more stocks. That's a head and shoulders pattern for anybody that's wondering. Head, left shoulder, right here. Remove the drawings. Connect the trend line. That's not a good sign, potentially. Here's your channel. But, look, maybe holding the 9. This is where I'm starting to look at, but showing weakness. Right? So at this point, I'd like to see, is it going to give a better, not a doji candle. I'd like a little bit better with that 9 EMA to catch up. Cron, on the other hand, let's go back to that one. Cron, right here, if you guys were watching, if you had risked off this one right here that I showed you guys earlier, technically you could still be in it. It's breaking high of day. So now you have kind of an inverse head and shoulders-ish, or whatever you want to call that. Not even ascending triangle. So technically, 1626 up to 1639. You could decide, there you go, that's an inverse head and shoulders right on a 1 minute. Bam. Bull flag off the top of an ascending inverse head and shoulders. And you're welcome on that one as well if you're paying attention. So now you can say 1626 up to 1642. Do you want to take your profits, or do you want to watch and see for a 5-minute reversal? That's up to you. Overstock. Here's where I would zoom in on this one and say, okay, overstock broke out. What did it do? Let me take a look at CTL. That's what you guys got to do. Interrupt me when you see something that's looking good. Because when I hear that ding, I actually was getting annoyed by Eric's ding, because I don't like dings interrupting me, but actually they're very valuable. So Eric, I want to when you want to interrupt me to say something good, I like those dings now. So you can see it broke out, came back down. Look at that high wave candle at resistance. Now it's coming back down. Now at this point, it's showing some weakness. So at this point, let's see if this 9 EMA will catch up. Right now, it's kind of eh. What were you saying? CTL. Yeah, so this is where you start to look in again, right? So I would say, look at the daily chart. Ah, that one, this is nice. These are the things I like, guys. Kind of an inverse head and shoulders. You can see some resistance on the daily around 1153. If price can stay above these moving average lines, let's zoom into the hourly. Possible cut pattern, that 1157, very important resistance level. So now you kind of zoom in here on a 1 minute, a little bit bearish. I can draw my trend lines and say, okay, on a 1 minute, this could easily fall right back down here, right? So it's kind of having some trouble at that rising wedge pattern. Now you can see this 9 EMA, it's at resistance, it's failing. If you're bullish on it, you want to see this 9 EMA catch up right around here. You want to see it catch up, push it up, and then see if it can go and break out. And frickin' cron. There you go. OSTK, let me take a look. So, great question. Very, very great question. So, OSTK. So let's look at this. Let me zoom out. Sometimes, guys, when you try to use a mouse with Thinkorswim, it drives me crazy because I can't zoom out. You can see it takes forever. So, OSTK. You can kind of see, you can see a double bottom, right? But then sometimes you got to bring these patterns together. This may be cup and kind of maybe a possible violent handle, we'll say. But very important right here. So now let's zoom in. That 1380 something area is very important. So on a 1 minute, a little bit bearish. This is where it gets a little bit trickier, guys, because so many people are looking at. You see how these candles get crazier? The risk becomes a little bit bigger, right? So it may be forming a handle. Again, just to show you a contrast difference, I like to see, so first of all, see if this 9 EMA will hold and give you a possible entry, but see how it's a little bit sharper compared to, I'll give you a comparison. I'm not necessarily saying I like ENDP right now, but it's kind of like, I want to see more of this. You guys see this right here? I kind of want to see more of like that. So it kind of comes back, you know, a smaller risk. You know, it gets a little bit, like I said, not as much. Before, remember I was telling you with this one, I didn't really like this candle. I personally like this, or this right here. This is what I'm kind of looking for. I want to see that smaller risk, whereas with OSTK, it doesn't mean you can't profit. Again, remember, this is just my own personal. It gets, you guys see how the candles, well, first of all, this candle hasn't formed yet, so we'll have to see what happens here. This may form a smaller one, we'll see. You know, this is, again, it's kind of bigger, right? You know, you're talking 1354 right now to 13, you know, these are getting to be 20-something cent candles. I like to have really tighter risk management. Or smaller candles. Does that make sense? So I just watch and see if there's going to give you a smaller candle hole, get this 9 EMA to catch up, and then see if it can break out. Just realize that it's got to contend with this right here. When you have this high wave candle, it makes things a little bit crazier. Still profit potential, but it just gets a little bit more violent because remember, everybody's looking at this thing now. I'm trying to keep you guys away from the herd, remember? And now a lot of people are watching it. And all right. Son of a gun. Here we go. PIR. Let me try and take you away from the herd. PIR, I think, was on our watch list. Or I thought we had it on. Or I was looking at it this morning. This is what I like to start to look at. Pier 1 imports. Slowly creeping on volume. Again, why am I looking at this one? Pier 1. Right here. Stock's gotten buried. Near support right here. Near to support. Oh, actually, yeah. It didn't do what I wanted. I was looking at this because you know what I was looking at? I was looking to see if it was going to break above. So now I'm liking it in theory, but not really liking it. I'll show you what I was looking at, but I had it mapped out to see this 9 EMA was a little bit further away when the day started, but obviously it's tanking right now. What I was looking to see earlier when the 9 EMA was up here to see if it was kind of do a little reversal back to the 9. But as you can see right now, what I wanted to show you guys that I potentially like about it, you can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders. I don't like these crazy high wave candles, so I got a little bit overexcited. I'll show you what I was looking at, but now I'm a little bit less overexcited. I like to see a little bit less of a wick off this hammer, but you see how it kind of goes up. It forms a pattern. It holds the 9 EMA. You know, but 760 down to 727. That's not good risk management. So in theory, I kind of liked it, but I don't necessarily right now. But you can see it needs to get above that 780 level. If so, then you can start to say, okay, possible inverse. Keep this on watch, guys. See inverse head and shoulders. The 200 SMA is up there on a 5-minute. There's potential 40 cent on that one. Super buried right now. If it can go, it has a little bit of room. So again, at least I'm in discussion of a potential pattern. I'd like to see it catch some volume. But you see how I'm trying to keep you away from the herd a little bit by going, where the heck did it go? There we go. Again, I'd like to see more. See this, if this thing creeps. If this creeps up a little bit, gets some volume, gets a 500,000 of volume or so, if it gives you, you know, a bull flag type of pattern, you can kind of come in here and see. Let's take a look a little bit further. Right here, it's right near that 20 EMA around that 790. You know, if it can kind of clear that window, you can see there's some room for it. If it can, I don't like this, right? These crazy wicks and shadows, but if it can get above and move and hold kind of above this 780s area and get some volume, now you might have a possible, you know, reversal over the moving average lines, move up. There's a window, right? So here's a window where nobody's looking at Pier 1, barely any volume. But if it starts creeping up, gets 400,000 or 500,000 or so, and you have a hold above the 780s area, if you bought 1,000 shares of it, and this thing has, let's say, the potential to move 40 cents or so, and you can scalp 10, 15, 20 cents, you might make a couple $100. But the pattern's got to hold. Does that make sense? Eric, we love to hear that. I got to tell you, between Lucian Creed and Dan's streams, I can't tell you who I've learned the most from. That's awesome. Love to hear that. Speaking of which, let's take another quick look. ENDP. Patience, guys. Let's go back to what I taught. Started the day off. It's almost 11 o'clock. And what are we looking at here? There we go. Look at, oh, by the way, right here. So here's where you can decide, right? Somebody was asking about overstock. $13.77. This is a 20-something cent candle. This is, it's a little bit, I'd be a little bit more comfortable with it if it didn't have this high wave candle to contend with. So it makes it a little bit difficult. You know, it kind of breaks up the pattern a little bit more. But you can see 1378 to 53. If you risked off that candle, you could use a candle close below that as your stop. Looking at high of day right at here at 1441, and you could just do a candlestick play on a 5-minute, decide when you want to get out in or out. So technically 1378 up to 1397, you are technically right now at the moment up 22 cents. You can decide to take your profits now in a 1-minute, or you can play a 5-minute setup and decide whether you're going to look for a reversal there. What I was going to show you, but obviously the candle, that's why letting these candlesticks form on a 5-minute. Do you guys see? I was looking as we were talking, it looked like there was a potential hammer forming, but look what happened. It didn't hold. So you guys see? It didn't break above that doji, so that 5-minute was showing like it was potentially holding. It didn't hold. So here you go. Where's my 5-minute play? I wouldn't have taken this one earlier. Not digging it. Maybe right here. Again, so here you go. If you risked off of it, here's again where I was looking. This is the stuff I like more. This is a little bit riskier, but again, hey, if you took the risk, good for you. Here is what I'd be looking for more, right? A little bit more like crons, a little bit more like this, potentially. If you risked off this candle, 1625 got up to about 1640. So there's your 16 cents. Looking right here to see if this will hold the 9 EMA and form a possible reversal pattern. So we'll see. So technically right here, if you were in overstock.com, I mean, you got in at 1378. You're up 40 cents, guys. If you bought 1,000 shares, you'd be up 400 bucks. Are you going to take your profits right now, or are you going to watch for a reversal on a 5-minute? Dang, I'd be making a killing if I wasn't trying to teach you guys right now. This is ridiculous. Now, don't sleep on ESV, and look at that. So now, you guys see how FCX and X really aren't doing anything today? It's a bunch of garbage, but look, they're creeping. They're creeping up. This may be a double bottom on X. This may be kind of an inverse head and shoulders on FCX. Watch and see if these things will break out. Do you guys see the patience that you have to have? There's many times I could kick myself today, or other times I could just wait. Wait for the right setup. And right now it's almost 11 o'clock. Right here, showed you a couple different plays. Right here, 1377 up to 1430. You made 50 cents right now. Ask yourself, you have time, you're in this trade, you're day trading, you're at work, you're probably hungry. Do I take the bathroom break right now? I'm up right now. Do I take my profits? Do I come back? Do I wait? But you have time. Do you see? If you're trading a low float stock, you don't have this time. This stock with overstock has given you, you're in the course of about 10 minutes to make decisions. Do you take your profits? Do you wait? What do you do? You have almost 10 minutes. You're lucky if you get a minute on a low floater. Again, trade them only when you know how to trade. Possible reversals off Cron. See if this is a doji. It's still shaky right now. There's indecision right now at overstock. What are you looking right here, right? Look at the pattern. High of day at 1441. This high of day right here at 1434 is a lower high of day as of right now. What does that mean? That's a potential double top. What's a double top? That's a potential bearish pattern. I said potential because it can still continue up. You're looking for this 5-minute candle to form. So again, if you were up 50 cents before, now you may have only been up 30 cents because it's pulling back, right? So these are the windows you got to decide, am I going to take my profits or am I going to take a strategy? I'm just going to watch for a 5-minute reversal candle. Waiting is very hard. It's that FOMO, guys. FOMO. Look at FCX. Let's take a look at that one a little bit further. You guys see now we're having a little bit more action to talk about. Why are we suddenly talking a little bit more about some action compared to earlier? Because I was waiting for these 5-minute setups. They take a while sometimes. So you can see this 1167. It's got this crazy looking wick to deal with. But let's see if it can hold that 1158, get above it, and then see if it can retest and hold. This might be one of those ones that might be moving up. Maybe. Keep an eye. OSTK would concern me right now. So if you look at OSTK, look at this. That close as a double top. That's a warning right there. When I say warning, you have to look. Now, double top potentially in a 5-minute, but possible cup and handle on a 1-minute. So now what do you do, right? That's what you have to decide. There's a possible double top. Well, that is a double top. Doesn't mean it's going to fail, but it could easily fail. Right here, cup and handle. I told you I'm not a huge fan of those. But on a 1-minute, watch and see. So for those that like 1 minutes, here's what you're looking for. Is it going to hold? If so, watch for a possible break above that 1415 for a possible cup and handle 1-minute breakout. But just be aware, on a 5-minute, that's a double top pattern. What's it going to do? It's either going to fail, fall back, or it's going to break out. Oh, look at FCX. All right, so watch now with FCX. I hit the wrong thing, but actually this is a good thing. Watch, I was actually looking at Lone Wolf, said Cron is done in my opinion. Yeah, good call. It looks like it might be because now you can see a head and a left shoulder, possible head and shoulders failure. Now at FCX, want to see if that's going to hold that 1158. Keep an eye on it. OSTK, it's very risky at the moment. Again, from the watch list, FCX, and now look at X. Things might be turning, right? Go back to what I was showing you guys. Things may be starting to turn. Kind of getting near high of day. Right here, this may be a breakout. Let's see if there's a 5-minute retest and hold. X, US Steel, possible double bottom. See if it's a double bottom break, and we'll continue up. Possible double bottom. See if you can get up above these areas and hold. Kind of a breakout here on FCX. Let's see if the retest can hold and continue and break above that 1167 area. So now if you look at these things, here's what I'm trying to teach you guys, and I'm telling you, I hope you listen. Patterns, right? You can see Cron, a bigger name kind of stock, head, left shoulder. You're seeing a pattern, right? You guys see patterns? Head, possible left shoulder. See if it bounces. That's a left shoulder. That's a head right up here. You can see head, left shoulder. What's going to happen? Possible head and shoulders. possible failure, not looking so good. Overstock.com, possible double top pattern, right? Or this could also, so right now it's double topping, but if this 9 EMA catches up, what can that turn into? That could turn into a cup and handle on a 5-minute. So watch for this. Don't turn your eye on Overstock. See if that 9 EMA will catch up to that $14 and give you a possible cup and handle. If you can get a cup and handle on a 5-minute Overstock, that is one to really watch. ASRT, kind of crappy looking right now. But again, X, possible double bottom. And look at FCX. Going right up to 1167 resistance. And then EMDP. This one kind of is a dud to me. Not really digging that one. ESV. Let's go over to that one. You guys paying attention? Patterns are in play. We're taking a look at them more. Right? 1 million in volume. Super high float. ESENDP. What's going on? Actually, no. ESV. That's what I wanted to see. ESV. ESV, what did it do earlier? It fell, it broke down out of that falling wedge, but now what is it doing? ESV, super high float, 1.5 million volume. It's creeping. It's creeping to potentially, all right, we always like to use that word, potentially go red to green. If so, high of day kind of is that 850 level, just kind of use that 852, and then up to 872. If this goes red to green, it might form a cup, maybe a cup handle type of pattern. See if it can get up here. This might have some room. And you can see it's bouncing off that 20 EMA. So this may have had the green day up, pulling back a little bit before it maybe forms a flag and breaks out, or it could reverse, right? But you can see kind of on the daily, kind of inverse head and shoulders-ish. This may creep up and want to go. But you have time with these, right? Time to watch these play. OSTK, son of a gun. What'd I tell you guys? I would have missed another entry on OSTK with my style. Son of a gun. Look at that. This stocks. You guys owe us more money. We got to start charging you guys for more membership fees. This is ridiculous. You guys would have made a killing. You guys would have probably paid your membership for the past 5 or 10 years. For the next 5 or 10 years with us, just trading Overstock. Here you go, guys. I looked away. I told you on a 5-minute, but here's what happened. I would have missed it. Right here. It was a little too far away from me. But on a 1-minute, look at that. If you traded the 1 minute, so OSTK is playing me like a fool today on a 5-minute setup. Although maybe right here. But here, look it. Mic drop. Somebody give me a mic drop. There you go. If you guys can just take literally what I'm teaching you on this stream today and tailor it to your own trading style, this is trading. This is it in a nutshell. Right here. Cup and handle, broke out, it retested, it gave you a flag here, showed a little weakness, launched. If you had the, if you have the stomach to go through those 1 minute ones, cool, you still would have been in it. Right here, I would have missed it on my, I told you, watch for a double top or a possible cup and handle. It didn't come back to that 9 EMA. It launched. Freaking launched right there. Again, if you're new, don't buy now. Wait for a pullback down to what happened. It broke out over 1440. Watch for a possible pullback down to 1440. This stock alone could have made you a crap ton of money trading it the past couple days, depending on a 5-minute. If you were doing my strategy, yesterday would have been a great day. If you're a 1-minute strategy, today's a great day. You had one 5-minute potential setup right here. But yesterday, you had, like I showed you guys earlier, right here. If you were a little bit riskier before the break on that cup and handle right here, one, if you waited for a pullback, here was your first one. Somewhere right in here if you wanted to be a little bit riskier. 2, maybe 3. Then you had a couple more potential play, 1 or 2 more, maybe 1 over here if you wanted to be a little bit crazier. But if you were trading that 5-minute setup, yesterday was a great day. You had 1 to 2, maybe 3 if you're a little bit riskier. And then 1 minute on a 5-minute today, you had this 1 here, unless you got in before the break. But on the 1-minute setup, bam! There was some nice 1-minute setups here, guys. Lots of them. You had one down. Let's see. High a day was right around 13 bucks. You kind of had that cup and handle, so you could have gotten in right somewhere in here. There's one. Maybe if you were quick in here, it started to get a little bit crazier up in here. Maybe in here. Kind of another kind of cup right here. Pulls back. Boom, right in there. If you were a little bit riskier, this was, you know, had that red candle, but you had a flag right here. If you were kind of riskier right here, boom, 14, 15, right into there. But technically, guys, I mean, this is where you decide where you want to take profits. If you got in on this candle on a 5-minute, you know, technically, if you were just doing candles, you could have said, oh, okay, this is not going to fail. It's a cup and handle, XYZ. It didn't fall below 9 EMA. Technically, if you wanted to wait till you got to close below the 9 EMA, you could ride this up right now if you got in back here and wait for a candle close below the 9 EMA. Again, you could give back a ton of profits doing that, but you could be in the trade longer as well. So that's where you got to decide when you're going to get out. All right, guys, so that's all I got for today. If you want to learn trading, hopefully that helped you. If you're looking for quick and easy and somebody to tell you what to do and you're not willing to do the work, then you probably didn't learn anything from me today, and you probably got ticked off and you'll probably quit and probably blame the markets because you want to have an excuse, right? Lots of people want to have excuses. By the way, look right here at the 1 minute. Let's see if it can break above on a 1 minute, that 1454. Look at that. This is where you got to be careful, right? After a lot of people look at it, if it doesn't break above, a lot of times it'll fall right back down. So, again, guys, if you're not a member of our community, we are a community that's all about giving a hand up, not a hand out. So if you're looking to work your butt off and learn trading, I don't know how much more to teach you guys than what I did today here. But if you want the easy way out and you don't want to just blindly follow trades, listen, we do trade alerts. You can come over here. We have, where are we here? Can't find, I got so many dang screens up here, I can never find where I'm going. Right here. Bullishbears.com, that is our website. Look at how lightning quick it is. We are doing our updates, but we do trade alerts. So guys, we have couple type of trade alerts. We have our trade alert setups. Dan likes when I say setups like that with the inflection. So we have our trade alert setups. Those are basically what I've been showing you today for, we do our watches videos a couple times a week and show you how to do those. We also have our real-time trade alerts. Those are for large cap stocks, kind of options trades. Again, we do offer that service for larger cap stocks. Definitely take advantage of it, but please don't take any trades that we do if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Like, don't be lazy, guys. Like, you know, we offer the services, but like, just like, you're responsible for your own trades, right? Don't blame anybody else. If you lose money in the market, it's your fault. It's nobody else's fault. We're in charge of every trading decision that we make. So don't be lazy if you're new. Put in the time. If you don't want to do the work, then quit. Just don't blame the market. Don't blame somebody else. You know, trading is hard. We don't sugarcoat it. We don't pretend it's easy. It's not easy. It's hard. You can see all the stuff I talked to you, the goods, the highs, the lows, right? How many times could I have beat myself up today for not taking a trade? For crying out loud, how many times did I say son of a gun? Yesterday, I think I said son of a B. I actually said the B word. So if HR was listening, I could have gotten in trouble and a hand slap for that. So I try not to swear. But that's our emotions, right? Got to be careful. And keep an eye on ESV, possibly doing red to green at the moment. So anyways, guys, if you're not a member yet, we have our watch list each day over here. We have trade alerts, our setups. Take our courses. Don't be lazy. Again, it takes a lot of time. It'll take you several months. If you're looking to join the Bullish Bears community and you want to get rich from us watching a couple videos and a couple streams, then forget it. You might as well leave because you're not. It takes a long time. It takes a long time to learn this stuff. The reason why I can show you candlesticks and patterns and trend lines is because it took looking at thousands of charts. If you're like, I don't want to look at thousands of charts, then trading's probably not for you. You know? And that's okay. You know? That's totally fine. That's my rant. That's what I got for the rest of the day. Overstock. Look for possible pullback. You can see that 9 EMA on a 5-minute. What I would look at over on that one with overstock is to see possible. You can see that it's getting crazier, right? You guys see all these more of these kind of these high wave candles. It's just because a lot of traders are looking at this right now. All right, guys, I'm done. I think the rest of my day right now, I'm gonna take my glove off. I have my copper glove and my 1 copper sleeve. You can say, why am I wearing copper gloves and sleeves? Because how many charts did I show you in clicks and this and that? That's why, like, again, if you guys give us permission, if I can pump stocks to you guys, go silent for a while, talk for 5 minutes in a 2-hour period, make thousands of dollars, it'd be so much easier, and it'd be a lot less because I have a lot of tension on my wrist, right? The tendonitis in my arm and my elbow. I'm 40 years old. I'm a couple hours losing my voice, talking to you guys, right? Over and over. And I got all this joint pain. So now I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go get a smoothie. I'm going to get out of the house, get some vitamin D, get a smoothie, maybe take a nap. And I think that's it. You all have a wonderful rest of your day. Later, guys.